Welcome again for Saturday's mindfulness journey. Happiness is here and now. That is what we are understanding from one of the greatest masters, that is Astavakra. He says you don't need it to do any practice. Happiness is here and now. So, in the last couple of weeks, we understand the three fundamental questions. How knowledge is attained. So, how knowledge is attained means knowledge of our true nature. Knowledge of our true nature. So when we find the knowledge of the reality within us, there is permanent peace and happiness, love and wisdom. So second question was that how liberation is attained. How liberation is attained, how knowledge is attained, and how dispassion is attained. So we have gone deeply into that. So, dispassion and the knowledge leads to liberation. So, Master is answering that question. Muktim ichhasi chetat vishayan vishaya tyajya chamarjam dayatosham piyushavad bhaj. So, literal meaning is that if you are seeking liberation, means freedom from the mind. Freedom from the mind is freedom from the suffering. So the Master now answers. So he answers the second question directly. How the liberation is attained. If you are seeking liberation, my son, go beyond and behind the object of the senses now. And become aware of the natural qualities of the mind. What are those natural qualities of the mind? Forgiveness, sincerity, compassion, contentment, and truthfulness. So he compares the objects of the sense organs as poison and natural qualities of the mind as nectar. So we need to understand a little deeper. I can say this knowledge of this Eastern wisdom is only for the crazy people. I have been studying almost for the last 40 years, and still every time I study I find something new. Doesn't it seem crazy? So this journey is only for the crazy people. Are we crazy for liberation, freedom from the mind, or permanent happiness? That is what this Master is talking about. When the mind is ready, commitment is there, sincerity is there, and there is a fire inside, then we are a seeker. And a seeker is always crazy after about the freedom. If we are not crazy, if we don't have that intensity, then Master says, okay, first qualify, become a seeker. I will give you lot of practices. Learn to relax the body, calm down the mind, practice discernment. That is what happened to the Buddha in the first 6 years. And the last Master was Alar Kalam. He found that Buddha is ready. He said, close your eyes and see the new world, different from the world of objects. That leads to passion, craziness, obsession, Master says that we should not start thinking about any traits of the mind, but move out of the mind instantly with awareness. So what is the practice is? One practice, says that, okay, your mind is impure, it has lot of problem, you have lot of thoughts. Here is a classification of the thoughts according to Patanjali. Your mind is wandering, mind has a passion, mind is attached. So Astavakra, this master says, don't start thinking about these thoughts. Leave the mind alone. Do we have that level of awareness? I would say. Do we have that fire for liberation and dispassion to secure permanent peace and happiness? This is what this master is asking for. We are understanding why. Where is the poison? Where is the nectar? To secure freedom from the mind. I like one story that is very gives us an idea that what kind of a seeker we are. There is a clan, there is a group of community and the people in India, they are known as Rajput. They are born warriors. Great, they are very brave soldiers. Since their childhood, they are taught that bravery. They went to a kingdom to secure a job in the military. Two warriors from the same clan. So when they were in front of the king said, "Who is the brave among two? Once you prove that, then I can make you chief of the military." The minister was there, they were aware, the minister was aware of the bravery of this community of the Rajput. Minister requested the king, please do not ask these warriors about their gallantry. King did not agree. They have to prove it. So what happened? These two guys, they start fighting with the sword, and within minutes their bodies were lying on the ground. Both killed each one. The minister told the king, I told you, never ask these groups of the people about their gallantry. Their blood speaks of that passion. They did not care even to become the chief. Their state of the mind was focused in the present. So they fought, they died. When we die our mind, when there is a death of the mind, here and now, then we are a true seeker. A true seeker can always awaken to happiness here and now. Question is, are we ready? Are we ready? Take another example. If I address Stephen, are you David? He says, no, I'm not David, I'm Stephen. Good. The moment the mind says you are stressed, do you leave the mind and do you say that I'm my real nature? Are you getting it? Instantly, the mind becomes aware. I am stressed, that is not my nature. My true nature is permanent peace and happiness. Someone says, you are my honey. Mind says, no, I am peace and happiness. The way we respond. If I address anyone, may say, Pushkar, are you Samuel? No, I am not Samuel, I am Pushkar. Instantly we become aware. Can I become aware of my true nature? I need not to work on the mind. I need not to control the mind. I need not to do any practice. This is what the Master is saying. What blocks to declare that I am in peace and happiness? And that is what the poison is. The Master is saying that is what the poison is. Poison enters into our life when the mind is our master. And the nectar enters into the mind when the mind is a servant. That is another way to understand. Poison starts with the mind claiming we are the body and the mind complex. When we claim and identify with body and the mind, then activities of the mind relate to the world. We become false self. The mind starts running after pleasure in objects, in people, and in things. And that causes the stress and the suffering. Not only that, it covers, it veils my true nature. Then we identify deeply with the people, relations outside. That causes another level of ignorance, is called, it leads to our suffering. Understand again, simple. When I say I am the body and mind complex, that these thoughts, wrong notions, veils my real nature, like a curtain in front and the real nature is behind. So first I am the body, that notion is the beginning of a poison in our life. So first I am the body, then I am the teacher, you are the student. Secondary level of ignorance enters in our life. Then what happens? First I am the body, then only I am the husband, wife, son, daughter, employer, wealthy, rich, poor. Without the body identification, I cannot have the secondary level of ignorance. That is what Master is talking about. So how long it takes you to drop this identification? It is the mind is keeping the wrong notion. Leave the wrong notion. You are free here and now. So Eastern wisdom says that the mind is created out of Satoguna. Now understand. It's a very interesting way to explain the way the Masters explains this. So our Eastern wisdom says that this mind is created by Satoguna. What is Satoguna? That leads to knowledge and the joy. What happens when we know poison is a poison? The mind returns to its original nature. The Master says, never drink poison after recognizing it. Means, the moment I see the world outside of people, objects and the things, I should maintain my awareness and never project happiness, peace there. But on the other way, let me express that peace and happiness after recognizing, realizing my true nature. So you see that I am seeking peace and happiness outside in the world, that becomes the poison that makes the mind run after the objects, people, things in the world. Now this mind has stopped running after any object. The moment the mind stops, it goes within, it finds its natural state. What is the natural state of the mind? That becomes the nectar. What is that nectar? So the Master says, maintain your awareness, a state of forgiveness, simplicity, kindness, and aware of the truth. So these are the nectar. What is forgiveness? We need to think, live, and work in the state of forgiveness. Why mind may identify or get attached because of the habit. The moment the mind is identified with something and you don't get that object, forgiveness is gone. Simplicity. What do you mean by simplicity? It at ease. You live at ease. Effortlessness. Uncomplicated. So when you are at ease, there is no identification. What is kindness? Kindness has many meanings. It also means compassion, gentleness, thoughtfulness, helpfulness. So it is within you. That is a natural state of the mind. And once we live into that state, we live in mindfulness. We need not to practice it. Are we all not in the state of calmness now? Ask yourself. The answer comes yes. Can I maintain the awareness of the calmness? You don't maintain calmness, it is already here and now. Is it not true? So our mind starts asking, can I maintain calmness? No, calmness is already there in the mind. Can I maintain awareness of that state of the calmness? What breaks that awareness of the calmness? The mind. What happens in the mind? The mind starts running outside. Why it is running outside? Because it finds pleasure, happiness in the world outside. So the moment the mind runs outside for projecting happiness, you simply become aware. The Master says you become aware. Check the mind. The moment you are aware, the mind returns within and it leads to happiness. It leads to liberation. It leads to freedom from the mind. Chama Arjav Dayatosham Piyush Vadbhaj. So the Master is saying that constantly now, mind is running outside, it has many thoughts, it causes the stress and anxiety, duality and a conflict. Don't drink this poison. Instead, the moment you wake up in the morning, find out the natural state of the mind, become aware of forgiveness, simplicity, kindness or compassion, contentment, and the truth. So the more you start living into that state, it leads to the freedom from the mind. That is what the Master is saying. Let us start our journey of meditation. We will follow the same. We will leave all the effort. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed, my friend. First thing, the eyes are closed. Stage 1. Now, for the sake of your understanding, eyes are closed, but you look at the body the way it is. Means, who is looking at the body? The mind. How it is looking, you become aware. Look at it. We are doing practice and still we are not doing practice. This practice today is a non-practice. And then look deep inside the head or the heart. When you are aware of the heart or the head within, that awareness says, no, I see the emptiness, good. I see the space, good. I see the darkness, good. Not only the space and the darkness, become aware of the experience of the calmness. Even 1% of the calmness. I'm not saying 100%. Don't worry. So I'm saying the same thing. When you experience the calmness, 1% only, deep inside your head or the heart, now you are aware of the calmness. You did not create it. You are aware of the calmness. That is the power of these principles of the Eastern wisdom. And in the stage 1, we settle by being comfortable. Understand, you do not become comfortable, you enter into a state of being comfortable. You see that? You look at the neck joint. You are feeling, you are aware of the neck joint, and your experience is sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness at this moment. You know what happens? Because the mind wants to rush outside. It will say, no, I'm not comfortable, let me move. Let me adjust and align. So that becomes a lower practice. Then it becomes a practice. But you are simply aware. Let us move and be aware of the shoulder joints. So you are aware, you feel, you are present there, you experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. If I say mindfulness is so simple, even saying it simple is abusing the mindfulness journey. Especially nowadays when we are doing this journey on Saturdays, based on the teachings of this great master. Move the mind or become aware of the entire body. You're looking at the entire body, from the top to the toes. Looking is not doing anything, remember. Mind, as long as the mind is aware, means as long as the mind is living in a waking state, it is aware. So you're looking at the entire body and experience the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. In the stage 1, we move to the third stage, being carefree. You see that you are looking into the sky, you're looking at the people, the sense organs are the windows to the external world. By default, we see, hear, touch, Oh, it's a common. Now, well, what is being carefree? The same way, whatever the thought enters into the mind, feeling enters, memory enters, let them come and go. Let them stay. That is the state of being carefree, not becoming carefree. I gave there examples, couple of examples. You're standing across a road watching the traffic. In that simile, you are standing across and watching the traffic is one in the mind. The mind has those thoughts, you step back and you are looking at the thoughts so that it should not become poison. Why? You get carried away by the thought, you forget your nature. Then you're not a great seeker, like the warriors. You ask the mind, die for me. I don't care whatever the thoughts enters into the mind. Why? Because I'm none of them. And then we move to being casual, being natural. What happens to the water when this water becomes wave, tsunami, flood, or a tap water? Nothing happens. Can I maintain that awareness of the natural state of the mind? Nothing happens, even if the mind thinks. That is what is being casual. Another way to understand is to live in awareness of the seer and the seen. I see you, I am the seer. You are the seen for me. When you see me, you are the seer and I am the seen for you. So what is the world for you? It is seen. And what you are the seer. How can you see the world? Only when the seer is different and separate from the seen, perfectly in a casual state. Now we will move to the second stage. We'll not do any active step from now on. That will deepen our practice so that you can understand that how easy it is. In the stage 2, we become little more aware. Can I say extraordinary aware? How? Look at the head and the neck. Looking is not doing anything. You're not creating anything. You are realizing when the mind looks at the body with awareness of every cell of the skin, of the head and the neck, the mind starts moving within and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind is aware of the right arm. Whose mind? Your mind. Your mind is aware of the right arm, as if the mind is moving, walking on the right arm, as it walks in awareness without any expectation. You start feeling the sensation deepens. Relaxation is there and the stillness is there. What it shows, did you create it? No. From where it has come? From deep inside you. Why I was not aware before? Because the mind was running outside. Why it was running outside? Seeking happiness and peace. That is the only difference between the poison and the nectar. Left arm, mind moving gently or looking, the left arm, every cell of the skin of the left arm. You're not in a hurry. Why the mind is in a hurry? It is running outside. It claims that mind is still the master. And if it is not, you will experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Be clear, we are not doing anything. That's why it is a non-practice. So when people say mindfulness is effortless and natural, I have to be a true seeker, like those warriors. The mind is aware of the rib cage, all around, front and the back. Simple awareness. Every cell of the skin of the body, and experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind is aware of the belly. You are looking at the belly mentally, means you are aware, you feel, and you will notice your experience is that sensation deepens, there is a relaxation, there is a stillness. So one master says the quiet mind is a happy mind. Other master says that when the mind starts looking within yourself, it discovers peace and happiness. And we will study. This master says, when you see the body is not you in the field of awareness, there is an instant relaxation. Move the mind on the entire back along with the spine. Be there, and you see, you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Look at the right leg. Extraordinary awareness. The mind does not leave even a single cell on the right leg. That is, in a way, you live into that extraordinary awareness and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Mind looking at the left leg, from the toes to the left side of the waist, or from the left side of the waist to the toe, whatever is easy. Whatever is natural for you. You know, the mind struggles if you have made a habit. No, I always see from the toes to the waist. You see, we are not struggling. Because we are not doing any practice. We are in a non-practice mode. Understand that part is very important. The moment you are in a practice mode, according to the master, poison returns. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body. Entire body. The mind as if drops like a water slowly from the top to the toes. Being aware. And experience sensation, relaxation and stillness, my friend. Now, moving the mind once again on the entire body. Take your time, experience sensation, relaxation and stillness.
I didn't understand.
Now again, in that field of awareness, you are looking at the breath. So there is a movement in the breath. You notice the breath is moving in and out. You also notice and experience the sensation inside the nose. Because of the movement of the breath, you are not doing anything. You are just looking. The breath is going in and out and you are feeling the sensation. Third point, just maintain, just live in that awareness and don't allow the mind to change any rate in the rhythm of the breath. Why? Because we are not doing anything. So there is a three-pointed awareness of the breath. Good. Now what is the fourth point of awareness? Who knows all the 3 points of awareness of the breath? Who knows? You. Who is that you? That is the knower. How do I see the birds are flying in the sky? Because there is a sky above it, there is a space, and I see the birds flying. Similarly, the breath flies or moves, gives you the sensation because there is a space behind it. How the breath can ever move if there is no space at all? What I'm doing nothing. I'm now aware of the space where the breath is moving. See that? That is the knowledge. For knowledge we need not to practice. Are you David? If I asked Stephen, no, I'm not David, I'm Stephen. Did you practice anything? Same way. Same way. Similarly, you are aware that this breath is happening in the space. Car is running on the highway. Highway doesn't run after you. stage 3. We explore, we become aware of the very quality and the nature of the mind. How? In a very simple way. Become aware of the world outside. There is a room, there are articles, items in the room. You are in front of the device, you are listening to me, and in a practice which is a non-practice. This is how the physical mind knows the world outside. Physical mind with sense organs. You see the room, physical mind says, it is matter. Now see, the trouble comes. Now look at the physical body from the top to the toes. Still the physical mind is looking the body, but says the body is alive. Body is after all made up of the same matter. One scientist I read 10 years ago that if you bring the space out of the body, 6 feet body will be reduced to like a matchbox, that size. You find anything in this physical body, it is nothing but the matter. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Just become aware, it is still the matter. But the physical mind does not want to see the body as a matter. Why? That is what the Astavakra says, poison. Let us go deeper, looking at the breath. Am I aware of the breath? Yes. The breath is going in and out? Yes. Now, which mind looks at the breath? It is the subtle mind. Now this mind changes its quality to see. Do I see you? Yes. Physical mind. Do I see the breath? Yes. Subtle mind. So the Master says, can I become aware of this quality of the mind that adapts itself so fast without getting noticed? We are exploring where is the real nature. The Master wants us. It is beyond the mind. But until now, it is the subtle mind looking at the breath. So what is deeper than the breath? Naturally, our mind says it is the thoughts and the feeling and the experiences are deeper than the breath. It is the subtler mind that becomes aware of the thought. Why it is the subtle and the subtler mind? And why I refer to the physical mind? The physical mind perceives the world outside. And why it is a subtle mind which is not seen physically is a subtler mind. So simple. Understanding is required, awareness is required. So the subtler mind is aware of the thoughts, feelings, sensations, memory, and very good. Now, ask the mind what is behind these thoughts and all our experiences. You're making the mind servant. Servant mind can easily move deeper. Master mind always likes to move outside. Just look what is behind the thoughts. Mind says, I don't know. There appears to be a space and emptiness. It is the subtlest mind. Be there. Do nothing. Where is the problem? What is behind the mind? We only see the emptiness and the space within. In the stage 4, we ask the mind, why don't you look deep inside, beyond and behind the world? So casually see inside the heart in the space. So the way the mind tricks us, we trick the mind. As a play and a fun. You're looking inside the heart, in the space, and you say, okay, this is the first milestone. You drop Om. From the first milestone of Om, ask the mind to go deeper in that space we are exploring. And the mind says, that is it. Okay, Om. So when you drop Om, you see the space again deeper inside. Continue to move inside. The mind says, that is it. Okay, Om. Play and fun, and you see the space again. You continue moving deeper within. Where? Deeper within yourself. Deep and deep and deep and deeper within you. Beautiful. Do nothing. You are already doing nothing. Now understand clearly you are in a waking state. And I say are you in a state of doing nothing? Yes. What it means, there is no doer and enjoyer in you at this moment. When there is no doer and the enjoyer, you are in the state of mindfulness. It doesn't mean you are not aware of what is happening in the world, but you're not doing anything. So doing nothing does not mean you are not aware, you are not experiencing. So how to explain that? Only the experience remains. Neither doer nor the enjoyer. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Bring your mind on the left hand. Raise both your palms. Place it on your closed eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. And bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. And followed by question and answer. How are you, David and Jerry?
What an amazing experience for me. It was deep beyond belief. And at some point, I could just feel all the muscles in my back and shoulder just letting go, and my posture straightening up. Everything was just letting go. It was getting to the space behind the mind like I've never felt before. It was very fabulous.
Yeah. And we did not do any breathing, any active practice. See that? That's a beautiful experience, yes. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well. So it was a really focused, peaceful practice. I felt like when we went in deep into the heart, initially it felt like a ripple, kind of like I was just barely getting there. And then the wave, and then this expansive, like the ocean.
Beautiful.
So it just felt very, very expansive.
Yes, that's a beautiful experience. Can I live into that state all the time while doing all the activities outside? That is why the mindfulness is known as effortless journey. How are you, Anne?
I'm fine. Yeah. Good and calm.
Good. So Terry, how are you?
Very similar to what the others are saying. Not effortless.
Effort. Okay.
Very deep. Well, I had to maintain my breathing
Okay.
with my mindfulness. But I was, it was very, I didn't at times know if I was awake or asleep.
Ah, you're awake. Yes, yes. Only
I just maintained.
maintain that calmness. You see that?
Yeah, and that resistance to, I went very deep. And at one point I came back suddenly, but I didn't want to.
You didn't want
So I
to.
just,
Good.
I just dropped home every time I had resistance.
Yes.
When I had yeah.
So
It's
Eastern.
mostly
So
breathing consciousness.
breathing. Yeah, that's good. So any resistance when you sit in meditation, and any resistance comes from the mind, that is what the mastermind. And when you go beyond the mind, that becomes the servant mind. And it happens to the true seeker who can enter into that state of peace and calmness. Samuel, you joined for the first time. Welcome. What is your experience? You have to unmute it to share your experience.
It went really well for me. I've noticed, probably started meditating about a year ago today. I've done it every day, different lengths and different types. I have noticed over the last 3 or 4 months that it's a lot easier for me to calm down.
Good.
And get in that state, probably 30 seconds to a minute now, where it used to be 5-10 minutes. And similar to, I believe it was Terry, I had the same situation where a lot of times I just fade off and I thought I was just falling asleep, but I was back and forth and it felt great. So.
Okay, no issue, Samuel. In the beginning, even if we fall into sleep, at least it gives us a deeper relaxation. And gradually, mindfulness or meditation is an awakened state. Beyond sleep, beyond dream, beyond waking. But it is good. And you did a longer practice as compared to what you have been doing regularly. And you were there. Beautiful. How are you, Vivek?
Hi, good morning. I'm good. It was deeper, intense, and it was more like an inner journey. A kind of self-realization.
Good.
I've been practicing. On an alternative days. But yes, it is changing everything.
Yes, Vivek, find more time to practice daily. Why on alternate days? Can you breathe on alternate days?
Yes, I've tried daily. I tried daily, but yes, sometimes I miss.
Yeah, he is good. He's a young kid, good. How are you, Vaibhav? Very good. Vaibhav, yes.
It was very nice, actually. I like that the awareness of the space, the blankness, itself brings that peace and calmness inside you. We always stuck with the thoughts that we cannot see that blankness that we have inside us.
Yes.
And while awakening to that blankness, you are just free from everything then.
Yes. Yes. You see that, Vaibhav? That's a good explanation. It's a deeper experience. why we are asking and seeking that space and emptiness and blankness. So when you answer this question, then you get the essence of today's practice. What is that space? Now ask yourself, when we were born, just born as a baby, what was the thought in our mind? There was no thought at all. Because all the thoughts is a communication, it's a language coming from outside, then it becomes mind. So at the time of the birth, there was no thought at all. Only some sound, some touch. So same sensation, one day it becomes pleasure, and it is also the sensation, it becomes the pain. So who gives the interpretation? The mind. How it gives the interpretation? Through the thoughts. So we have millions of these thoughts that veils my true nature. Are you getting it? So simple. Now you have to contemplate and reflect, then it becomes very simple. And once it becomes simple, you are already there. Do you practice meditation? No, you are in it. How long? 24/7. Then will you say, do you practice? Oh, I practice on alternate days. No. We have to reach to that state. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. It was a very even meditation for me. In a lot of my meditations, I have this moments of where I feel, or at least I'm aware of the different levels of going deeper and deeper and deeper. And today's meditation was very quiet for me. From the moment I closed my eyes, I felt my body temperature go up. And it stayed that way throughout the entire meditation. And I remember stage one, and then I heard you say, put your hands on your eyes.
Ah,
and
beautiful.
So everything else in between was just, but I know I wasn't sleeping. So I know I was in my meditation, and it was very nice.
That's a deeper state. You see that until you have an object in the mind, then only we have an experience. If there is no object in the mind, how can I have an experience? But always also know that even if we don't have an experience, we don't lose awareness. We are aware. So, can I reach to that awareness which is objectless? That is what you are referring to. That is where the mindfulness is. Beautiful, Stephen. How are you, Ekta?
Till when you said that we are entering to the third stage, I started getting the chills, and right after that, I think I fall asleep. And the moment I woke up is the time you said to put the hand
Put the
on the
hand
eye.
on the eye. No,
So
no
I
problem.
have
Yeah.
I'm able to hear you, but I think I fall asleep. And I had a very hard time opening my eyes.
Yeah, that is a deeper state. That at the last moment you enter into a deeper state. The chill in the body also indicates a deeper experience when the mind withdraws within. And we discussed there is a permutation movement of the prana, the energy, and that gives the chill. But continue doing it. It will take you to deeper states. So we have two people left. Pushkar.
Sir, it was very peaceful and I feel total emptiness.
Total empty.
And sir, see the world as a scenery and my thoughts also as a scenery.
Beautiful. That's a good expression. Yeah, it's a deeper. Sangeeta, how are you?
सर बहुत पीसफुल था और मैंने अपने आप को अलग करके देखा, बॉडी मतलब मैं अलग हूँ और बॉडी अलग है, और थोड़ा रेनबो जैसे कलर मुझे दिखे आज.
Beautiful. She could see her body totally separate from herself. And the moment you see that, so normally in that state you have many visions and the colors. Beautiful. So now if you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be sending you this file to you all